Dave, use Big D on Instagram. Just search Big D on Instagram.
Damn straight.
What's going on, guys? Nick Lesagore here.
Brandon Delakier.
Hey, Phelps here.
Exit 12 Homebrew.
In the house?
Big Dawg Brewing in the house.
There you go.
Perfect. And we are here with a homebrew review after a double brew day with Dave. We did not collab, thankfully. He hasn't asked us yet, so we're very happy about that. But
there's only so many ways you can tell somebody no.
But we are actually drinking a beer from Big Dawg Brewing today. It is the Drop Kveik Nate. I wound up for that one. The Drop Kveik Nate. It is the first BrewTubers Online Brewers Club Yeast Experiment. It's Dave's version. Brew date, April 10th. Keg date, April 22nd. 12 days. That's a quick turnaround right there. Dave could own his own brewery with those types of turnarounds.
That's right.
Can date, May 1st. OG, 1.050. Finishing gravity, 1.004. Dave got this thing down really low. So Dave, why don't you tell us a little bit about this beer and the yeast that you used while I open this up?
Sure. So this is Dropkick Nate's, or Nate Pico's Dropkick Nate recipe. It's got Bonlander Munich malt in it, and then two-row, and then we have Galaxy and Eldorado hops in the boil, and then dry hopped for 5 days is what we dry hopped it, or what I dry hopped it. I used Ebbegarden Kveik yeast, and we ended up at about 6% ABV.
We're doing a beer review. You mind turning your phone off?
Yeah.
Is it possible to put your phone on mute in the middle of a beer review? Is that even possible?
For you to shut the hell up.
No swearing.
Anyway.
We're family. We're a family home brewery.
I'll pour myself one.
Yeah.
So he's going to pour himself one, and also, just talking about the beer while he pours, 6%, excuse me, 6% ABV. So this is a nice little sipper.
I said that already, Nick.
Oh, did you? Sorry. I wasn't listening.
Shocker.
Oh, listen. We all can't be as handsome. So, looking at it, it looks a bit like a New England.
Yeah, it's hazy. It's nice straw, golden yellow maybe.
Yeah, it's
I
like...
did cold crash this. This was cold crashed, but...
Yeah.
Oh, you did cold crash
guys-
this. Okay.
What's that?
You did cold crash it. Okay.
I did, but what we talked about on Discord was that the Kveik yeast really won't clear when you cold crash.
Hold on.
Hold on, Dave.
What the hell?
The light came off because,
Did I not have it up?
yeah, you're dying.
All right.
See, this is what happens when you get all these things. Dave.
See? All I got is my freaking GoPro and my cable.
I
table.
know, you're killing. I know you're the greatest.
I know.
So we got a nice little look at it. Let's get a little snifferoony, shall we, boys?
We shall.
Malt sweetness. I get some good sweetness.
Little peach, like a stone fruit maybe.
We also didn't elaborate on what DKN was. Dropkick Nate, Drop Kveik Nate. It's an IPA or a pale ale?
Pale ale.
It's a pale ale, so okay.
Dropkick Nate's a pale ale.
Yeah, and you can tell by the name, and this is a yeast experiment. They were all using Kveik yeast, so different strains of Kveik. So yeah, that's awesome. What do you got?
A little bit of peach.
I said peach. I said stone fruit.
Oh, did you? Stone fruit?
You were not listening to anybody but yourself.
I'm in my zone right now. I'm in my zone.
wasn't listening to me either.
That's what I said, Dave. Me and you, bud. I mean, I'm getting like maybe apricot as well, but like I said, stone fruits. It's definitely although apricot's not really a stone fruit. No, is it?
Does an apricot have a seed in it?
I don't believe
Yes.
so. Does it?
Yes.
Nice. Dave coming in the clutch.
Single seed.
Nice. Sweet.
He knows to reference apricot. He doesn't know what kind of fruit it is. A little bit of mango. I get a touch of mango. A little bit of a wisp of mango.
I can see that.
All right, let's get a drink on this.
Cheers.
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 Cheers, Dave. Thanks for joining the Exit 12 Homebrew channel.
I'd say it's a pleasure to be here,
But you'd be wrong.
I'll mute you.
but it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So it's very crisp. I would say that it definitely has that little crispness to it, and that speaks to you attenuating it down so far. It's got that nice, refreshing, like I said, crispness to it, and it's got a nice little fruit-forward punch.
Washes off the palate very quickly, leaves you wanting more.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it has that little peach aftertaste, like almost like a peach tea.
What about you, Dave? What do you get on it?
I get a little bit of bitterness. Not too bad. Definitely get the peach aroma, and like there's a little bit of a little punch of an aftertaste that I'm picking up on.
The bitterness is definitely there. I definitely get a nice layer of bitterness. It does hang out throughout the sip, but it is light, it's airy, it's refreshing, it's crisp, as Brandon said, washes off the palate quickly. I don't know how much I'm getting in terms of characteristics from the yeast.
Yeah, it's pretty crisp, so it isn't something where the yeast is sort of leaving that aftertaste or ending, with that yeast characteristic. It ends pretty dry, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it does end dry. It definitely, as I mentioned, leaves you kind of wanting another sip. It has that quality about it. I'd be interested to try it. Almost, I wish now that we had entered the experiment, because I would like to try the other beers. But this is a great attempt at a pale ale, and I'd like to have Nate's original to kind of compare it to.
So Nate is sending around his original to everybody who was in the experiment. I fermented this at 90 degrees, and it fermented out in 36 hours.
Yeah.
So that was really my first time doing that. So it was really, really quick.
Yeah. Kveik really attenuates pretty fast, and it's awesome that you can attenuate at those higher levels. Usually you get that higher ester count, a little fruitier beer, and I'm getting that on here. I think it's really accentuating the like peach and, like we said, the stone fruits. But it is also a very like, it's got that like really crispness at the end. It's almost like a champagne beer, or like not like a brew.
Like a brew?
A little bit on the end. It's very crisp and dry at the end.
I think that's because it went so low.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, it definitely.
Were you listening? Brandon mentioned that earlier. Anyway, this beer is a fantastic beer. Definitely something that's perfect for a day like this. It's like 70, 75 degrees or something here. We had clouds roll in a little bit earlier. We thought we might be getting some rain.
Yeah.
They washed away quickly, much like Dave and I's friendship. They went away quickly, and now we're back to sunny skies.
That's right. Go Pats.
Go Pats is right. Just enjoying this
Bills.
beer. Yeah.
What'd you say?
Sorry. Just enjoying this beer. Awesome stuff, Dave. Thank you so much for joining us. And
Thank you, guys.
Dave and as I mentioned earlier, Dave and myself and Brandon had a nice little joint brew day. Dave, what did you brew?
I brewed Belgian Dubel for the experiment, the third beer in the yeast experiment.
Great. Yeah. So we did the Saison, which is the second yeast experiment, and this is an entry, or I don't know if you'd call it an entry. It's not a competition, but it's one beer in the first yeast experiment. As BrewTubers Online Brewers Club, we run experiments every year.
BrewTubers. BrewTubers, BrewTubers, BrewTubers.
We run experiments every year.
You gotta now put BrewTubers in all those little areas.
We run experiments every year. This is our first year being an official club. We ran 3 experiments. This is the first. The Saison was the second, and the Debelle was the third. We're really excited about it. If you have questions about the club, Dave, where can they go?
www.brewtubers.com.
That's right. Don't hesitate. Reach out to myself. Reach out to Brandon. Reach out to David. Go on the website. Feel free to sign up, and we'd love to have you.
Yep.
Dave, thanks so much, buddy. Salute.
Cheers, fellas.
L'chaim.
Cheers.
And as Dave just said, cheers.